The mystery of how the continents on planet Earth moved from one supercontinent into their current positions has always puzzled man. My name is Don Heath. In the year 2004, I made the decision to begin my own research and hopefully solve this puzzle. What I found was amazing. In a moment, you will see what I discovered more than 10 years ago, the configuration and dislocation of the true supercontinent, Ibabaw. The word Ibabaw comes from the Philippine language Tagalog. It literally means above. I chose this word to represent the higher part of the Earth's crust after it solidified more than 4.5 billion years ago. And now, for the first time ever, this is the configuration of the true supercontinent, Ibabaw. And when you place this on a sphere, this is what the planet Earth looked like in its initial state after the crust had cooled and hardened to become a planet. The dark areas represent Ibabaw. The timeline that you are about to see is a representation of how the Earth's crust transformed from this into this. The separation of Ibabaw takes place within two phases. As you can see, the entire mass is slowly progressing towards the east. Soon, the connection between North America and Asia will take place. Alaska, which is here now, as it has moved eastward, has separated from northeastern Asia. Another separation is beginning to take place at the northern edge of the supercontinent. The separation at the north has progressed all the way to the south of the supercontinent. This has released North and South America from Ibabaw. These are the first two continents to be completely released by the supercontinent. This marks the end of the first phase in the separation of Ibabaw. As you can see, you recognize this much more than the original. This is more the world that we know today. What has happened is simple. Africa has been thrust into Asia. Because of this, the connections between the Arabian Peninsula and the Iberian Peninsula, here and here, have been broken. In the case of the Arabian Peninsula, its shift towards the east has torn India from its place at the eastern edge of Africa. This movement carried India with immense force from its place in Africa straight into southern Asia, with such force that it embedded itself 1,000 miles into the continent and raised the Asian continent by 8,000 meters, creating the Himalayan mountains. In the case of the Iberian Peninsula, it broke free at this point, liberating Spain and disconnecting a portion from France, where Italy moved from its place and embedded itself into the European continent to create the Alpine range. Australia was dislocated from its place at the side of Africa, as well as its place where Indonesia is now formed, as well as Antarctica, and is now completely separated and isolated. This is where we stand today, and marks the end of the second phase of the dislocation of Ibabao. In my research, I quickly realized that there was much more than just a supercontinent that lay before me. Questions that I had asked myself for years were being answered, as well as some questions that I had never even thought to ask. Finding the supercontinent would prove to be only the beginning of my research, a gateway towards the construction of my complete theory, the stellar mechanism. A documentary series of my theory is now in the final stages of construction and will soon be available to the public. It will answer all questions about Ibabao, and even questions that you are not even aware that you would like to ask. I would like to thank you for witnessing Ibabao Supercontinent. I'm Don Heath.